welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History. I'm Claire Ridgway. I'm the author of, among other Tudor history books, this book here, On This Day in Tudor History, which has served as the inspiration for this series of daily videos. I used to do articles about these, but I thought, hey, for the year of 2019, I'm going to do daily videos. Yes, great idea, Claire, except when you're poorly and full of cold, but we get by, and you managed to bear with me when my throat's not so great, so thank you for that. Now, I'm taking you back to right near the start of the House of Tudor being on the throne. I'm taking you back to 1487 for On This Day in Tudor History, the 16th of June 1487. The Battle of Stoke Field took place in a field, hence Stoke Field, in a field to the southwest of East Stoke in Nottinghamshire, a county in England. Now, the Battle of Stoke Field was fought between the forces of King Henry VII, so the first king of the House of Tudor, and the Yorkist forces of Lord Lovell and John de la Pole, who was the Earl of Lincoln. Now, the Battle of Stoke Field is known as the last battle of between the houses of York and Lancaster in that civil war, which we now call the Wars of the Roses. Now, many people think that the Wars of the Roses ended with the Battle of Bosworth in August 1485, when, of course, the forces of Henry Tudor, who became Henry VII, defeated those of King Richard III. And Richard was killed on that day, and Henry Tudor came to the throne as King Henry VII. But that battle did not actually end the Civil War. It wasn't the final battle of the Wars of the Roses. The Battle of Stoke Field has that honour. On the morning of the 16th of June 1487, the Yorkist forces of Francis, Lord Lovell, John de la Pole, Earl of Lincoln, and Thomas Fitzgerald engaged in a battle with those of Henry VII, the forces of Henry VII being under the command of the Earl of Oxford, and also Henry VII's uncle, Jasper Tudor. Now, the Yorkists were aiming to remove Henry VII from the throne and to replace him with pretender Lambert Simnel, who they claimed was Edward, Earl of Warwick, son of George, Duke of Clarence. George, Duke of Clarence being the brother of the late King Edward IV. Now, they claimed that, but actually Warwick was imprisoned in the Tower of London at this time. So, doesn't really make sense, does it? But Simnel, they crowned Simnel, Lambert Simnel, as King Edward VI in Dublin on the 24th of May 1487, and then went on to rise up against King Henry VII and have this battle. Now, the Yorkist forces had some success against the Lancastrians in early June, but the Battle of Stoke Field was a decisive Lancastrian victory, Henry VII being the Lancastrian here. Although the Yorkist forces were swelled by around about 1,500 to 2,000 German mercenaries led by Martin Schwartz, an expert commander, by the time they met Henry VII's forces at Stoke Field, they'd become rather outnumbered. It is thought that Henry VII's forces were around 15,000, while the rebels altogether with these German mercenaries and everything only had around 8,000. So they were significantly outnumbered at this battle. The battle was over before 3 hours was up. The Yorkists were recorded as losing around 4,000 men, and among the men that were lost on the Yorkist side were Lincoln and Fitzgerald. Lovell is thought to have escaped, fleeing to Scotland, and Lambert Simnel, this boy who was only about 10 years old, who had been crowned in Dublin as King Edward VI, was actually spared by King Henry VII, who put him to work in his royal kitchens. Simnel later went on to become a falconer, and it is recorded that the bells are ringing out for Simnel here. Thank you. It is recorded that Simnel died a natural death sometime between 1525 and 1535. I do like it when the bells start ringing out for someone's death. So he wasn't an important man by this time, so we don't have an accurate dating for his death, but somewhere between 1525 and 1535. So he was incredibly lucky, carrying on, to die a natural death when he had been, crowned king. But I think Henry VII saw him as a young boy who was just being used by these men, and so took pity on him instead. So that's what happened on this day in Tudor history. In the year 1487, we have the Battle of Stoke Field, which is seen as the final battle in the Civil War that we know today as the Wars of the Roses. You can give this video a like if you've enjoyed me telling you about this battle. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell, we like bells, to be notified as videos go live. But rest assured that I will be back tomorrow with another On This Day in Tudor History event. So I'll see you then. Take care. Bye bye.